Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Aklon here, and of course, welcome back to each and every one of you. Now, there's many of you that might be watching this video. Well, I say many. Some of you. These videos don't exactly get thousands of views. Maybe because I don't upload as often to this channel as I should. But there's some of you, at least, that will know who I am, and maybe some of you will see this video for the first time, and you'll have no idea who I am or, what I'm about. So my name is Stefan, or Aklon, Stephen. You can call me whatever you want. To be fair, none of that really matters to me. But what I'm about to discuss is probably going to make a lot of you initially feel weird and awkward and not that good about yourselves. You're going to hear it and you're immediately going to say, no, I don't like it. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's fine. I also want to be very clear when I say nothing that I'm about to say, nothing that I'm about to discuss is in judgment or from like a place of self-righteousness, because I cannot be self-righteous about this. I myself am only just starting this journey. But the whole point of this channel is to discuss things that I like. It's to discuss things that I think about, to discuss topics that I ponder. And one of the topics that I've been pondering for quite some time has been society, and specifically talking about societal collapse, the concept, or at least the times that we find ourselves in, has not been good, and it's not going good, and it's going worse and worse literally every single time. We live in a world where we're more divided than we've ever been, and I'm not just talking about America. I'm not American, so I don't live there, but we can all see the divisions there. I live in South Africa. The divisions here has been very, very pronounced, and they're getting worse every single day. All over the world, we see people divided. We see society being torn asunder as a result of what? The fact of the matter is, depending on who you listen to, there will be different reasons for the collapse of society. If you listen to the Red Bull movement, the collapse of society is firmly at the hands of women. Women have lost the plot. You'll hear things like we should rescind female suffrage, or the emancipation of women has been a mistake. And it's not just the Red Bull movement. There's women who believe this as well. And then if you listen to the feminists, then of course it is the fault of men, and men not to blame. Funny enough, I am gonna come down on the side of the feminists, but before you feminists go, yeah, finally, we have a man in our corner. I don't believe that society is failing because of men for the same reasons that you believe society is failing because of men. You see, from the feminist perspective, society is failing because men are the ones that built society, and men built the society that is unfair, unjust, misogynistic, anti-woman. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. Men did build this society, and men, specifically Western men, built the greatest society the world has ever seen. But they did it with the help of God. Our ancestors, our forefathers, our fathers and our fathers' fathers did so with a healthy fear of God. The morality and the principles and the foundation of our societies came from God. It came from God's moral order. We would look to God to make decisions. Since then, things have, let's say they've changed. These days, more and more people have stopped going to church. Very few people now consider themselves Christians. In fact, the other day, I asked someone, what do you believe? And they're like, well, I'm a Christian. I'm like, what do you mean you're a Christian? I was baptized as a baby. That means nothing. That is not even the dictionary definition of Christian. It's about belief. It's about service. It's about your life. It's about who do you put your faith into. And that is why I believe society is crumbling. Men, myself included, have become weak. We don't lead. We are so weak that we are incapable of taking our natural, God-given place as the leaders and the protectors of society. Now, before some of the guys go, leader, I like this, who am I leading and who's following? That's not what that means, just very quickly. Men are given very strict instructions and commands from God to lead society. By lead, it means we submit to God, we follow Christ, and we lead society towards His word. In prayer, by submitting, by serving. The Bible says, men, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Christ died for the church. Christ's entire life was dedicated to the church. That's how we are supposed to lead, and we don't do this anymore. And I include myself in this, 100%. I'm 39 years old, and for the first 39 years of my life, I have spent every opportunity I could find to shirk the responsibility laid upon me by my God. First, by not believing in my God and trying everything in my power to not grow up. I forged an entire world around not growing up. I have a gaming channel where I discuss the lore and the story of World of Warcraft. I have a newer channel where I have finally, after giving my heart to Christ, I have taken the first steps into at least trying to right some aspect of society. It is in the gaming industry, but it is fighting the culture war, trying to save what little can still be saved from this crumbling thing. And I still have many years to go and a lot more lessons to learn before I can even consider myself halfway to worthy of being a man that God would approve of. But I look around me and what I see is men who have not even taken the first step, who have not even tried to do anything. Gentlemen, it's easy to go, yeah, it's women. It's women. Look at all the OnlyFans girls. Look at all this. Look at all that. I saw someone on Twitter say we should, female suffrage should never have happened. The right for women to vote. And I immediately thought to myself, this is where men failed already. This isn't new. If men truly were the protectors that they were called to be, if men truly were the leaders that they were called to be, women would not have felt the need to form suffrage movements. They would not have felt the need to take control of society or full leadership roles within society, because they would have felt safe. They would have felt protected. They would have gladly taken their spot within society as they're supposed to. It's us. It's our weakness that forced this. And yes, their sin is not negated by ours, just as our sin is not negated by theirs. God will hold each one of us responsible for our own sins. Now, luckily, if you're a Christian and you've truly given your heart to Christ, you get the unfair advantage of when you stand in front of the throne of God and God is judging you, God sees Jesus' sacrifice and says, you're okay. So, we have that unfair advantage in this, but you'll still be judged for your own sins, regardless of what anyone else is doing. And it's not just the fault and the flaw of the men that live today. It's our fathers and our fathers' fathers before them. You see, they chose comfort instead of leadership. They never raised us and taught us what it means to be a man. For them, and I'll take my own life here as an example, for them, leadership was going to work and coming home and making money. Having a barbecue on a Saturday, some beers with the friends. Where was the Bible study? Where was the teaching young men how to be men? That's gone. Most of our fathers have given their responsibilities away to the government, not only to make moral laws of society, to decide what the morality and the moral value system of society will be, but also to raise their children, just sending them off. As a little aside here, and I don't want to have this, I'm just sharing my thoughts, okay? So it might sound like I'm preaching, but I genuinely am just sharing my thoughts here. But I was thinking about it earlier this week. I don't know how any Christian can have children in this society and not homeschool them. I genuinely don't get it. How would you for a moment think that the government of today has any right to raise your children? What makes you think that they can even do it? in a way that would please God. It is bonkers to me. But the fact is, man, when you look around you and you see society crumbling, when you look around you and you see society just hurtling towards the cliff and it's about to go off, please understand one thing. Look in the mirror and blame the guy staring back at you. We need to take our places at the leadership of society, at the helm of society. And until we do that, society will not heal. The only way we can do that is by kneeling in front of God, the Almighty, and asking Him for the wisdom to lead. Anyways, that's my thoughts. That's what I wanted to share. I'm sure there will be people that say, hell no, and that's fine. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like if you like, dislike if you didn't, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.